Looking at number 4 on page 49, this is the last problem. So your very first step is to get the equation equal to 0. And we are going to want to leave this x squared minus 16x where it is, because that's 2 terms we would have to move, as opposed to if we move this negative 63, we only have to move 1 term. So the opposite of a negative 63 is a positive 63. That makes the right side 0. X squared is quadratic. 63 is a constant, so you cannot add them together. So the x squared comes down. Negative 16x is linear. 63 is constant. You cannot combine those, so we're going to bring down the negative 16x, and that brings the plus 63 down as well. This is in standard form, so we have to factor. Checking for GCF first, 1, 16, and 63 have nothing in common. There's not an x in everything, so we have to see if we can box. So off to the side, you're going to draw your 2 by 2 box that takes up 3 lines. X squared out of the first corner, negative 16x out of the middle corner, and a plus 63 out of the last corner. X squared comes in, 63 comes in as well as a positive number. First number times the last number, 1 times 63 is 63. And we have to look at the factors of 63. 63 is 1 and 63. 2 doesn't work. 3 and 21. 4 doesn't work. 5 doesn't work. 6 doesn't work. 7 and 9. The 63 is positive, so now we have to decide the signs of our factors. The only way to get a positive number is either a positive and a positive or a negative and a negative. How do you decide? We're looking at a negative 16 here, which tells us our factors are going to be negative, so they're all going to be negative. So we need 2 numbers that multiplied to be 63, and when we fill them in diagonally here, we get to a negative 16. That's negative 7 and negative 9. So you fill those in the boxes, it doesn't matter where, and then you work backwards. To get x squared, we had to have an x on top and an x to the side. To go from x to a negative 7x, we needed a negative 7 up top. To go from a negative 7 on the top to a 63 on the inside, we would need a negative 9. So this factored to be x minus 7, x minus 9. That was your second step. Your third step is to set each element equal to 0. So you draw a line down the middle, x minus 7 equals 0, x minus 9 equals 0. And then you solve each separate equation. To get x by itself, I'm going to add 7. So we get x equals 7. Add 9 to both sides, we get x equals 9. If you would have had a calculator, when you moved over that 63, you would have put that equation into y1 and looked at your graph. You do not have to copy this down. But if you would have graphed it, it would have looked something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would have crossed at 7 and 9 and been concave up because this one is positive.